It has been a long time since I have been to opening night of a Marvel movie. It has been a long time since I sat down on a Friday and was able to enjoy the movie before I had to avoid all the spoilers on TikTok and just keep scrolling. It's been a long time since I've done that. And now that I have, I want to talk about this movie so bad because, and listen, I guess spoilers ahead. I do have my critiques of this film, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'm going to talk about what moved me almost to tears. And I think that even though the message that this movie gave was very clear, I still feel like some people will walk away like not really knowing what happened. They're like, what? I appreciate this movie so much for not giving us a giant alien battle at the end. Really appreciate that. Especially with the team that you got that's so like tactical and so like punch fight heavy. The fact that the solution to the big bad thing was a hug, and it didn't feel, I mean, the whole movie is a little bit campy, but like it didn't feel that way. It felt like the truth of life, that you need people. I have met Bobs in my life since I was young. I have met Bobs, and I think we all have. I've met insecure, specifically, I'm going to talk specifically about insecure men, or men who feel that they are alone. You know, there's a loneliness men epidemic happening right now. Well, aside from that, I have met Bob. I've met men who feel that, you know, they have no friends and they're invisible. No one sees them. Oh my God, no one cares what they do. Maybe I should just, you know, end it all. You know, I've met those people, and it's really, really hard to like get them to see anything else. But one thing I've noticed about them, and one thing that was so true in the movie, I'm like, this is the truest thing, is that when they get a little inch, a little speck of kindness thrown their way, they latch on. They latch on to those people. And I've seen it time and time again. Again, since middle high school and beyond. The type of person who like is given a little bit like, no, it's okay, you're okay, I'm your friend. And then suddenly someone is following you everywhere, and suddenly somebody is, you know, their happiness is completely dependent on you. And this is just, we're talking about just like an acquaintanceship, okay? Because you telling someone that, oh, don't say those things, don't be that way, I'm here for you, I can be your friend, and they take it and they run with it, and it's like the whole world to them. There's a lot of really bad things happening there. One, it is, first of all, having your whole existence be dependent on another person, your happiness, your will to live, whatever, be dependent on another person is so dangerous. And I don't think they realize they're doing it. But also it puts so much on the other person, so much pressure. It suffocates them. It's suddenly you're in a position you didn't want to be in, or you didn't know you were going to be in. It can feel, because oh my God, it's the way that I can like spot this a mile away, and I have to be really careful in those moments, because I have an inclination to smile, to hug, to like tell a person everything's going to be all right, and it can put you in a spot where you do not want to be in. You are suddenly responsible for a whole grown person's well-being, and that is, whether it's their mental health or like their physical health, that can be really dangerous. And it happens time and time again. And for them to make I did not expect that from a Marvel movie, for them to make a movie about it, essentially. And I wish they went even deeper with it. I wanted them to go even deeper. And it would have been nice to like sit there and go through Bucky's, you know, trauma in the rooms, or like every other characters as well. We only really focused on Yelena, which I'm fine with. I understand why they did that. But it can be so hard, because unless you want to commit to that person in their life forever, you can't just hug it out. But the sentiment or the idea here is that what that person really needs is togetherness, is a family, that's what they need. And sometimes as a single person, you cannot provide that. But Yelena, she said, I can provide that, and I can be here for this person, from now until the end of time, I guess, until, you know, they're able to build up their own self-esteem or whatever it is. I don't want people to feel like projects, and I don't want people to feel like they are so broken without me. And it can feel it can feel really hard to try to get that through to someone. How do you tell another person, hey, you're worthy, you matter, and they've been told the opposite their whole lives, or they just believe the opposite, or they want proof. They want you to prove it to them. Prove to me that I matter. Prove to me that I'm worth something. Like, I have nothing to offer. And this guy in the movie, he has superpowers, you know? He does, I guess, in a way, have things to offer. But I think what was so great about the film is that they had him fighting his own darkness. And I think that is what's the key point. You can have support. You can have people, you know, be there for you all day long. You need to fight the darkness. You need to want it. Because if you don't, another person cannot fight the darkness for you. They can't. They can only support you. And sometimes that's from afar. So it's really hard to go inward and to try to fight those demons and to like fight your own mental state. And that takes work, and that takes so much effort, and that can be really hard when you feel like you don't have a leg to stand on, when you have nothing keeping you going, or nothing of value in your life, or you feel like there isn't anything to look forward to. This is so sad. But like, what I'm trying to say is, I think that was such a great way to show how, like, there are people out there who are struggling with one, mental illness, another, loneliness. Those can be put together, and, you know, just like feeling isolated and not knowing how to fix it. And you can say therapy, you can say all these things, but kind of reaching out to the people you know is the start, I think. And the movie kind of talked about that, or showed that. Reaching out to the people you know. He only knew Yelena for so little, but he's like, this is a person I know. I'm going to reach out to this person. At the very least, I'm going to talk to them. And that's a step, talking to people you know. And you know, you don't have to be friends or family or anything, but it can definitely be someone you just know. And, you know, this is so hard because giving another person all of your struggles or your traumas or whatever it is, dumping on them, you have to be prepared for them not to be ready for that, or to, like, you know. There is someone, though. There's always going to be someone, a line, things you can do to get help, because you have to recognize that own behavior in yourself. I'm constantly allowing this thought or these darknesses to beat me down, to make me feel worthless. And that is not making me the type of person that other people want to be around. That is not making me the type of person that can go out and solve my issues, or, you know, put steps forward in my life. And that's so hard. Oh my God. But I really appreciate the movie. I've really blindsided me with that. I really appreciate the movie talking about this. And although it didn't give concrete solutions, again, like, a hug is not necessarily going to, like, you know, win every time, but it's a start. And I think, like, him destroying everything in his wake, or like hurting all the people around him, or, you know, destroying New York, is a real representation of how that can affect a person, or that can affect the people around you when you allow the darkness to keep going. And I say allow loosely, because it really is a fight. It really is. Some people have accepted as who they are, and I think that was Bill's problem, Bob's problem as well. He accepted as who I'm just a terrible person, or a bad person, or I'm just not worth it. And once you've accepted it as who you are, it's even a harder battle to fight. And it's not necessarily anyone else's responsibility to fight that for you, but to have people and to open the door and to say, I want to fight this battle and I'm going to have support, is something. It's big. But yeah, I don't know. That movie really got me thinking. I'm so proud of Marvel for putting something like this out, because I hope it starts conversations, and I hope, like, that men and women see this and they think of, oh, okay, I'm allowing this to happen. Or, again, the word allow. I'm I'm in this and I need to fight it and I need help. I need to talk to people. I need to create that system around me. And that means work. And that means rejection sometimes. That means, you know, big, great moments sometimes and then low moments sometimes. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't even want this video to be long. I just really wanted to just talk about how splendid I think the movie represented this in a visual way. And I appreciate that. And I wish they had gone deeper. I wanted more. I was like, I want more of this. And that's the sign of a good movie, right? But I do have my issues. How did he suddenly know how to use all his powers seemingly like that? The makeover phase and him being convinced so quickly to like turn on everyone. I don't know. It was too quick. It felt like it was on 2x. So that's a complaint I have. I have other complaints as well. I don't think the movie is perfect by any means, but I do think for a Marvel movie, I appreciate that existing. But yeah. Okay, bye.